PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, or PUBG as most refer it to, releases on Xbox One today, and with that there will be a host of new players that more than likely have never played a game like PUBG, or at the very least have only played Fortnite. While the core concept of the games are similar, PUBG is a much more tactical and in-depth game in comparison to Fortnite, and there is quite a bit for you to learn when making this transition. In today's video, I'll be giving you guys a few beginner's tips to get you going in the right direction and not forming some bad habits. Now, I'm not a god tier player or anything like that, so for those of you that are seasoned veterans who happen to have clicked this video, if you have any other helpful tips, be sure to leave them in the comments below, but let's go ahead and get into today's video. Number 1. Drop into a high traffic zone. At first, this may sound counterintuitive for someone who's new to the game, but this is going to get you accustomed to looting and jumping into combat. Your goal here is to loot something as soon as you hit the ground and start trying to locate the players closest to you. Doing so, you'll start to get a taste for the gunplay and combat of the game instead of landing in a secluded area and playing a walking simulator for 10 minutes only to be sniped by a guy you never saw. If you aren't accustomed to gunfights in this game, chances are you're not going to be walking away with a win anytime soon. Don't get frustrated with your deaths from jumping early, learn from it, and apply that knowledge to your next run. Number 2. Get used to fist fighting. PUBG is pretty well known for less than generous weapon spawns from time to time. You just might land and find yourself with nothing but a pair of fisticuffs, ready to take on the world and probably die, but learning to fist fight will be helpful for those times you find someone who has been equally screwed by the loot spawns. Get comfortable with timing your punches and how to land hits on moving targets. Another thing to keep in mind, if you jump and punch, you'll perform a downward punch that will deal significantly more damage than your regular hits would. Fist fights are rather situational, but having the knowledge on how to fist fight just might make the world of difference. Number 3. Avoid tunnel vision. The game world is large and the goal is to be the last one standing, but if you get too reckless, you're not going to be that person. There are 3 types of tunnel vision in this game. Try to avoid them as best you can, but from time to time they will happen. First is looting tunnel vision. You will hit the ground and you're in a building looting. You're so focused on looting that another player sneaks up on you and kills you. Always be aware of your surroundings when you land, especially at the start of a game. Second, we have downed enemy tunnel vision. This only applies in duos and squad modes, but being so focused on getting the kill on a downed enemy can lead to you and your team using unnecessary meds, deaths, or even a squad wipe. If you down an enemy, don't become so focused on killing them that you lose focus on anything else. The best thing to do is to let them remain down, scan the surrounding areas, and see if any teammates reveal themselves in an attempt to get the revive. Keeping your team alive and not wasting supplies is far more important than kill count, so keep that in mind. The final type of tunnel vision we have is enemy tunnel vision. This is where you become so focused on an enemy that you get flanked. Unless you're in close quarters combat, take a shot or two at the enemy you're attempting to kill. If you can kill them, go ahead, but don't get reckless trying to kill them. If you can't get that kill, take a second or two to scan your surroundings, because an enemy just might be trying to sneak up on you while your attention is elsewhere. Tunnel vision is bound to happen for all of you at some point. Even I find myself doing it from time to time, but do your best to avoid this and some unnecessary deaths. Number 4. Learn audio differences. Not everyone can have a super fancy headset with surround sound, but learning to analyze in-game audio can help you out drastically. As players traverse across different terrains such as grass, concrete, stairs, wood, carpet, and more, they have a unique sound. Learning these sounds and familiarizing yourself with your surroundings will help you locate enemies easier and avoid surprises as you're navigating through the area. Sound is a double-edged sword though. Sure, you can hear enemies and the noise they make, but they can also hear you, so if someone is close, remember that you can make noise as you run and jump around as well. Number 5. Avoid cars unless you absolutely need them. Cars are an excellent source of transportation. You may be at the opposite end of the map and need to make it to the safe zone. Sure, the car can get you there, but it is also incredibly loud, and anyone in your vicinity will be alerted to your position as you drive on through. The more accurate players will probably take some shots at you in attempts to knock you out of the vehicle. Unless you absolutely need the car, avoid it at all costs, or your reaction to gunfire better be top tier if you plan on driving. If you find yourself a long way from the circle, do a quick loot and start making your way to the zone. You more than likely can make it on foot. Vehicles and squads, however, become a bit more viable as your passengers will be able to defend you as you drive, so if you have the firepower, grab some wheels and get going. Number 6. Learn to react to gunfire. Things get intense, anxiety gets high the closer you get to the victory, and it happens to all of us. But one thing you need to do is get used to the fear of being shot. There's tons of open areas, buildings for people to hide in, and tons of trees everywhere. More times than not, they're gonna see you long before you ever see them. Always expect to be shot, and you'll never be surprised. Actually, that's a lie. You'll probably end up getting shot, it'll scare the shit out of you, cause you to throw your controller and have a heart attack. But if you can manage to keep your cool, what you do in the few seconds after can make the difference in you living and dying. For starters, if you're shot, don't think it's safe to just drop prone and things will be totally fine. They can probably still see you. Instead, keep moving, jumping, zigzagging from side to side, whatever you can do to make yourself as hard of a target to hit as possible. If you're able to, scan the surroundings. The more shots they take at you, the more likely you are to locate their position and turn the fight in your favor. If you see the person, return fire with whatever you have. Keep the pressure on them to take cover and you get yourself to safety. As you're moving, always be scanning for places to take cover and you just might make it out alive. With that being said, this brings us to the end of the video. If you guys enjoy this type of stuff here on the channel, hit the like button below. The support really does help the channel out a great deal, and be sure to subscribe to Split Screen if you are new for all of the latest in PUBG news, guides, tips, and more. As always, you guys have an awesome day. My name is Morgan, and I'll see you next time.